On the 25th of July 1877, off the northeast corner of Wilson's Promontory, a tired old steamship raised its raked bow to the skies and dipped beneath the surface. Thankfully, it didn't take any of its crew members with it, and its passenger-carrying days were long, long gone. This ship would remain hidden underwater until, in the 21st century, a team investigating locations for a windmill farm would come across the wreck. And this wonderfully undiscovered wreck would be a boon for maritime archaeologists, because suddenly we have a perfectly preserved wreck whose hull has been undisturbed for almost 150 years. This ship is the City of Hobart. It entered service in 1854 for the Tasmanian Steam Navigation Company, and at the time, not only was it their flagship, but it also represented all that was modern and fashionable for passenger ships. It was a combination of both steam and sail, with combining the fine lines of a sailing ship with the technical necessities of steamship, 2 nicely raked funnels, and of course a screw propeller. And, since it was the fashion of the day, adorning the hull with fake gun ports, which I think made ships of the time look quite elegant. Entering service with this company, the City of Hobart had an active life, at times colliding with other ships, but all in all managing to survive the worst of what the sea could throw at it. However, by 1870, the City of Hobart was woefully out of date. Technology had progressed quite dramatically, as had conditions economically and socially, so that the ship was no longer needed. It was sold and converted into a collier, meaning its passenger accommodation was completely stripped away, and its cargo holds became completely full of coal, as that was its primary cargo. To give you an understanding of the dimensions of the City of Hobart, its primary statistics were as follows. The ship was 200 feet long, which equates to just over 184 meters, with a beam of 35 feet, which is almost 25 meters. The engine could drive the City of Hobart at a decent speed of 13.5 knots, and its original 2-cylinder engine was rebuilt halfway through the ship's life in 1865. The City of Hobart's career as a coiler was a short one. In 1877, on a regular voyage, its propeller shaft snapped, forcing a hole in the hull, which then caused the ship to dramatically rise up and sink, although not as quickly as that animation just depicted. Interestingly, the crew was rescued by a ship called the Barrabool, which in Australian maritime history circles is known as being the ship killer. In this instance, the Barrabool was a savior, rescuing all the crew from the City of Hobart. While the City of Hobart had an uneventful end to its life, the company that brought the ship to life and that operated it during its heyday was a fascinating organization, and one that is completely forgotten in the annals of Australian maritime history. However, if you wish to learn more about not only that company, Australian maritime history, but also the City of Hobart, then please check out A Colonial Enterprise. This book has just been published, written by Graham Broxham. The first half of the book covers the history of this fascinating shipping company, and then the second half is dedicated to each ships of the fleet and with their respective histories and fates, of which the City of Hobart is clearly featured. So check out this book and check out this ship for its interesting life and fade. And if you wish to read more about its impact in the modern 21st century field of wind farm research, then check out the Re-Engineer article that is linked down below as well. So plenty there to research and learn more about this interesting ship and the company that gave it life. Check them out.